SmallBusinessJobs.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Shalom Klein. You're listening to Get Down to Business. Thrilled to be joined by my friend and entrepreneur, Jeff Aeder. Jeff, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Jeff, we talk every week. We profile business success stories, people that are making an impact in the community, and you are a little bit of both. I know that some of our listeners have heard from you, have visited some of the initiatives that you've been involved in. But Jeff, let's jump right into it. Maybe we'll have an opportunity to talk about some of those things shortly in the program. If there's one tip that you have for a recent college graduate that has an idea, that has something on their mind, some idea that they want to get to the finish line, what is it? What would you tell them about how to turn their dream into a reality? What is the secret of a successful entrepreneur?
I think that the secret is to be able to harness your entrepreneurial drive and to realize that you need to first develop your skill set so that when the opportunity arrives or when you are ready, that you are in a position to make it happen. For example, when I started my real estate business in 1988, all I had been thinking about my entire life was working for myself. There wasn't a moment when I ever had any interest in working for anybody else, but I stuck it out working for a company for 4 years, developing myself and my skill set. And as soon as I had an opportunity and found a partner that was a complement to my skill set, I jumped out on it. And once you've decided to make the commitment to go and do it, you live, breathe, and make sure it succeeds.
That's great advice, Jeff. So, Jeff, everybody has somebody that inspires them, that sort of they look up to as a role model. Sometimes it's people that you've met and that you have the good fortune to use as a mentor. But for others, it's just somebody that you look at and inspires you. I happen to always admire Howard Schultz of Starbucks. That's one of the people that I look at as a role model. Who has been that role model for you and inspires you to do your sort of entrepreneurial work day in and day out?
Well, I think that the person, and I actually only met him last year, but is somebody who I have admired from a distance, and that is Lester Crown. You know, Lester has combined a incredibly successful business career with being a leader in philanthropy, a lover of the state of Israel, and has is there in every initiative that goes on in the community, both secular and Jewish and whatnot. So he is somebody who I've always said that is a guy who's learned how to combine both the business aspects and the successes there, and also knows how important it is to give back.
Fascinating. And as you mentioned, is somebody that you've looked up to, but only had the opportunity to meet a year ago. And that's very common for many of us in the world of business or in the world of communities. You have somebody that you look up to as a role model, which is interesting. So, Jeff, we don't have a ton of time to squeeze in all of the initiatives that you're involved in, but where are you most passionate about? I know you mentioned your real estate company, which is your day job, but you're involved in some fascinating and fantastic initiatives within the Chicagoland area. Tell us a little bit about some of them.
Right. Well, just quickly is the three which are most dear to my heart is I started an online Jewish baseball museum. I launched that about 6 months ago, right at the beginning of actually a little less than that, right at the beginning of the season, which is a lot of fun. I started Milt's Barbecue, and the owner of Milt's Barbecue for the Perplexed, a kosher barbecue restaurant in Lakeview. Where
that happens to be a great place to have a business meeting, just saying.
3411 Broadway, and happens to 100% of the profits go to charity. But the thing which is the most close to my heart, the one where I feel that I'm having the greatest impact, is my wife and I started the Walcott School, We are actually starting our 4th year, and this is a high school for kids who learn differently. Chicago did not have a high school for bright kids, college-bound students that are struggling because of dyslexia, ADHD, executive functioning, visual processing. So these are kids who are going to take over the world ultimately, but they need to find the right place that can understand how best to teach them and how best to support them. And so that is clearly where I spend the most amount of time, and I am most proud of what we've accomplished in a short period of time.
Jeff, you should be very proud of all of your initiatives, but the Walcott School in particular, the stories of success are already coming out from the Walcott School, and I encourage our listeners to learn more about the work, support the work of the Walcott School. Jeff, in our remaining few seconds, do you mind sharing the website for the Walcott School so our listeners can find it?
Sure, it's www.walcottschool.org.
WalcottSchool.org. As I mentioned, visit Milt's Barbecue for the Perplexed in Lakeview. Great place to have a business meeting, and 100% of the profits go to charity. And the Jewish Baseball Museum, just Google it. You'll find it online. Jeff Aeder, you are a role model, and I appreciate your contributions to the community. Thank you for the entrepreneurial tips. We appreciate it. Coming up, we've got more tips and advice for you after the break.